Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to Media Pulse, the show where we help you make sense of Thai politics.
Over the past few weeks, the Thai media have been rife with speculations about a potential cabinet reshuffle. But otherwise, political leaders try hard to play down these speculations. Yeah. But finally this week, the Prime Minister herself has admitted that a cabinet reshuffle is just around the corner. And it would be her first cabinet changes since assuming office last August. But however, Kun Paetongtarn stopped short of providing a time frame or saying whether it's going to be a limited cabinet reshuffle or a major overhaul of her government. And once again, all eyes are on Thepchai Thai Party, the second biggest party in the coalition of Kun Paetongtarn.
Yeah, it has been a common knowledge that Pheu Thai and Thepchai Thai are not on the same page on many issues. The last straw was that difference on the entertainment complex bill proposed by Pheu Thai to legalize casinos in Thailand. But what is bringing that relationship to a breaking point is the move by the Department of Special Investigation, or the DSI, to launch investigations against dozens of members of the Senate accused of money laundering and criminal association.
These senators are alleged to be closely affiliated with the so-called Blue Party and serve as its power base in the upper house. And blue, we all know that is the official color of Thepchai Thai Party, right?
Yes.
And these people were allegedly elected to the Senate through a well-orchestrated voting collusion.
Yeah. Thepchai Thai, however, has never officially admitted to the involvement in any way with the alleged voting collusion. But ironically, it has every reason to believe that Pheu Thai Party is behind the DSI's move against the senators. One of the powers of the Senate, obviously, is to confirm the appointments of members of independent bodies that are part of the system of checks and balances. So they include the Constitutional Court, the National Anti-Corruption Commission, the Election Commission, and the Auditor General. So that means whoever holds the sway over the Senate will also be in a position to influence its decision on these crucial appointments.
Now back on the issue of the cabinet reshuffle, it should not be a surprise that those in Pheu Thai Party have been viewing Thepchai Thai Party with both envy and apprehension. Finding a way to cut Thepchai Thai down to size has always been on top of the mind of the people in the Pheu Thai Party, especially Thaksin and his daughter Paetongtarn, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, it's no surprise then that the upcoming cabinet reshuffle in the crosshair is the Interior Ministry, which is currently being occupied by Thepchai Thai leader Anuthin Chanvirakul. The Interior Ministry is traditionally considered one of the most coveted cabinet portfolios. It's normally taken up by someone from the core of the ruling coalition, but Thepchai Thai has been an exception, largely because of its size as the second biggest party in the coalition.
It's commonly known that the Interior Ministry is always the bone of contention when it comes to horse trading among parties, right?
Yeah.
And you can also say that the Interior Ministry is one of the most powerful portfolios in terms of administrative authority. The ministry controls or supervises all local administrative bodies across the country, from those at the village level to the provincial level. And all appointments of provincial governors are also in the hand of the ministry. The Interior Minister, therefore, is often seen as someone who wields the most extensive bureaucratic power, something which is very crucial in election time.
Yeah, and there's more. The Interior Ministry always gets a lion's share of the annual budget. To give you an idea, roughly, the ministry is set to be given as much as 300 billion baht for the next fiscal year. That's a lot of money. It's actually the third biggest budget after those of the finance and education ministries. And, that explains why Thepchai Thai has been resisting pressure from Pheu Thai, especially former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, to relinquish the portfolio.
And Thaksin was the first person to float the idea during a recent interview. that it's about time that Thai party took over the interior ministry. Thaksin claimed that the ministry in the hands of Phumchai Thai party over the past 2 years has not done enough to serve the people. And he said with Thai in charge of the ministry can do more in 2 years that are left before the next general elections.
Ooh. It appeared that Thaksin's remarks caught even his daughter's Prime Minister Paetongtarn by surprise. But she is certainly not in the position to resist. We all know that even though Paetongtarn is the leader of the Thai party, it is her father, Thaksin, who calls the shots in the party. So Thaksin's evident desire on the Interior Ministry demonstrates how he is already looking at the next general elections, which are less than 2 years away. He obviously wants to make sure that the most powerful ministry is in the hands of his daughter in the lead up to the next general elections.
As we have been reporting, Thai and Phumchai Thai parties, despite their current political union, are poised to clash in the next elections. And the last thing that Thaksin and the Thai party want to see is for Phumchai Thai party to retain control of the ministry.
Obviously.
Of course, if that's the case, Phumchai Thai needs to have something in return.
Yeah.
If it has to sacrifice the ministry. And there have been talks about a party being offered the public health and commerce ministries as an exchange.
With less budget.
Of course.
Less money.
But yeah, the kind of give and take between these two parties then.
Yeah. Throughout the week, Anutin continued to insist that he was not aware of any potential cabinet changes, much less having to sacrifice the interior ministry. He said, I only listen to the Prime Minister.
Now, the Thai media, meanwhile, reported that what Thaksin and his daughter Paetongtarn, the Prime Minister, want is not just a minor change in the cabinet. They want a major overhaul that would give Thai party a much stronger grip on the political situation.
Yeah, Thaksin is obviously aware of the fact that the Paetongtarn government has largely failed to live up to its election promises. So despite the stimulus package, which includes controversial cash handout programs, the economy still remains stagnant. Prices of essential goods continue to rise, while new tariffs imposed by the U.S. President Donald Trump has further aggravated the country's economic problems.
The political observers believe that Thaksin sees the need to shake up the government's economic team before things get worse and jeopardize the party's chance in the next general elections. And speaking to reporters on Wednesday, the Prime Minister Paetongtarn said it was too early to be specific about what changes will take place in the cabinet reshuffle. She said she needs to sit down first with leaders of her coalition partners before any decision is made. In other words, there will be rounds of negotiations and horse trading before she will come up with a new cabinet. That will take a few weeks.
Media reports, meanwhile, point to the possibility of an overhaul of the cabinet to the extent that some of the current coalition parties being left out in the cold. One thing, however, appears certain. So according to most political analysts, the upcoming cabinet reshuffle is unlikely to be driven by a desire to enhance the efficiency of the ruling coalition. In essence, any new appointments will not be based on merits. So after all, cabinet positions have long been regarded as parts of political spoils.
Well, now let's move on to a headline-making event
Exactly.
of the past 2 weeks, right?
So many comments on social media about this issue.
In fact, we can use the phrase all hell broke loose to describe the situation facing the Paetongtarn government. As we all know, the economy is still in a very bad shape. And then the internal divisions within the ruling coalition are only widening. And of course, as we all know, that the political leadership of the Prime Minister herself is under intense scrutiny.
Yeah.
And now we have a sudden emergence of border conflicts with our neighbor Cambodia, right, which have further heightened questions about her ability to lead effectively under pressure, and which has been made more intense by external challenges.
Yeah, we're talking about the clashes between the Thai and Cambodian military at the border in Ubon Ratchathani province on the 28th of May, right? The tension that followed highlight yet another test of Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawat's leadership. But before we dive into the issue of why, let's do a little recap of what happened, just in case you haven't been following the news that much. So the clash happened at Chongbok Pass in the mountainous region of Namgyel district in Ubon Ratchathani province, while soldiers from both sides were patrolling in the area. Both the Thai and Cambodian army claimed that the other side was trespassing. Then the exchange of words turned into a heated debate, and then it turned into a crossfire, which resulted in the death of a Cambodian military personnel. Now, over the past 2 weeks, the two sides have been at odds, both in media reports and through official channels.
I think the problem and what is most important is the fact that Thailand and Cambodia are taking opposing positions on this border conflicts issue, right?
Yeah.
The Cambodian government wants to take the whole issue concerning the overlapping claimed areas to the International Court of Justice or the World Court.
Yeah.
Where the Thai side prefers to have it resolved through bilateral channels like the Joint Boundary Committee, which will be meeting in Phnom Penh next week, right?
Yeah. Then the rhetoric from the Cambodian government side was also reflected in news reports. We have been seeing quotes from the president of the Cambodian Senate, Hun Sen's speech. He's been saying things like, "We have learned that they," meaning the Thai side, "are building a trench. They may prepare within their own territory, but they must not come and build on my land. That's all." On the ICJ, he was quoted by the Khmer Times as saying, "We await Thailand's stance on this matter. Will they dare or not?"
Now, the past 1 week has also seen a show of force by military from both sides, Thailand and Cambodia. For example, the Cambodian armed forces held a joint drill at Ream Naval Base. And there was a claim that a Thai surveillance drone was shot down after intruding into the Cambodian airspace. The Thai Air Force, of course, denied that and brought out larger drones for the press to take pictures, saying that if they are really needed, they will be there. But the one that was shown by the Cambodian soldiers to the media in Cambodia was not the Thai drone.
Yeah.
And the Thai military anti-aircraft artillery battalion, meanwhile, also said they are well prepared to handle any contingency.
Yeah, so the situation is tense. A lot of parties are tense about it. And say that this is the test of Prime Minister Paetongtarn's leadership. Let's look at this video clip.
ค่ะได้ไปดูหน้างานยังคะเดี๋ยววันนี้จะไปค่ะ
So this is from the press conference on Wednesday during the Q&A. A reporter quoted information from the army that the Cambodian military has been trespassing about 200 meters inside the Thai territory. Then the PM promptly asked if the reporter had been to the disputed area and said that she is sending Phumtham Wechayachai, the deputy PM, who also doubles as defense minister, to observe the situation.
And it was quite obvious, Clare, that the Prime Minister lost her cool, and instead of answering questions from reporters, she shot back at her.
Yeah, she said, "Is something the matter?" Was she upset about something? Her face was so unfriendly. What is the matter? She's been pressing these questions to a group of reporters who were there at the press conference, but obviously the person who asked the question has already left. Basically, the reporters did not get any quotes about the situation on Thailand and Cambodia border dispute and how she planned to resolve it. But they ended up getting a different kind of story that day. We have a politician from the opposition like Rangsiman Rome from the People's Party criticized the PM for being slow to respond on the issue. And also referring to the heated exchange with a reporter at the press conference, he said that the PM needs to be more patient when she is asking the nation to be patient. He also said that instead of using that opportunity to address the issue clearly, the Prime Minister turned a crisis into a disaster.
And her deputy, Kun Phumtham Vechayachai, who doubles as defense minister, did not do any better. Earlier, there was a widely shared video clip of Lieutenant General Bunsin Phatklang, commander of the 2nd Army Region, talking about his strong stance on the situation at the border. The 2nd Army Region is in charge of the northeastern region of the country, which includes the disputed area with Cambodia. And after this clip came out, there was a rumor that the commander was going to be removed from his post. That prompted Kun Phumtham Vechayachai, the defense minister, to come out to deny the rumor. That then only show how sensitive what people say these days are when it comes to the issue of the border conflicts with Cambodia.
So the question that a lot of political observers, commentators are asking, well, number one, what is really going on between the government and the military? Are they not completely united on the issue? And remember, the two parties have slightly different job description, I would say. The government manages things, right? But the armed forces are there to protect the nation's sovereignty.
The situation has certainly given rise to a new nationalistic feeling among many Thais, prompting question as to why the Thai government is taking a much softer stance than the Cambodian side on this issue. And this leads us to the next point of discussion, the strong ties between the Shinawatra and the Hun families. And just take a look at these pictures.
Yeah, they're good friends, aren't they? So, former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, the current PM's father, is a very close friend of Hun Sen's. When Hun Sen had a family gathering for his birthday, Thaksin was there. And then when Thaksin got out of the hospital, Hun Sen was among the first people who visited him at his home in Bangkok. And there's more as well. Thaksin's niece, who is the daughter of his younger sister, Yawapa Wongsawat, and the former Prime Minister Somchai Wongsawat, is married to the son of a well-known Cambodian politician who is in the inner circle of Hun Sen's.
Now, even this time around, Thaksin himself said that he has been using his personal ties with Hun Sen to try and resolve the conflict over a call. He wasn't specific when the call was made or what was really discussed in the conversation. But Thaksin claimed that he has straightened things out with Hun Sen and the conflict should end soon. The high-ranking officials from the two sides, he said, have good relations. And what has been happening on the ground was a dispute at a lower level of contacts of the military. And Thaksin went on to suggest that the disputed area be designated a no man's land. And he said instead of fighting, why don't they get together and play a game of takraw? I mean the Thai traditional sports game, right?
Yeah, the
rattan
ball. Yeah, exactly. Not sure if the military would like that. But anyway, the Prime Minister is obviously facing a big dilemma here. So while the Cambodian government is bent on taking this dispute to the ICJ and not even going to talk about the 4 sensitive areas at the upcoming Joint Boundary Committee. So we're talking about Pasat Ta Mueang Thom Temple, right? Ta Mueang Tot, Ta Khwai, and the Mombay area. So how will she balance the role of protecting Thailand's national interest and the role of a good family friend of the Cambodian leader?
Yeah, there's a big question being asked by many people.
Yeah.
The possible conflict of interest between the two families.
So it remains to be seen how this will play out. But I guess that's it for this week. I hope it's useful for you. I hope we've helped clarify a lot of things about Thai politics this week. Thank you for watching.
Okay.
Have a good weekend.
Okay. See you next week.